So on the way to the Killers, I saw the silent disco.
Very fun.
Talk about Rose and Thorn. That might have been the best experience. I was laughing so hard. I was with like some of my friends from college. Literally just like seeing someone at silent disco screaming their heart out, listening to a different song you're listening to. Have you been to a silent disco?
I think I went to one with like a party.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a silent disco, but the party had a silent disco
area.
Yeah. That I participated in for about 4 hours.
This one was like a tent, and it was like 500 people at a silent disco.
That is so fun.
And it was like, one was a rap channel, one was a rock channel, one was like a EDM channel, and it was like I was busting out laughing and like wouldn't have changed to see the Killers for anything.
I feel like that would be fun to take an edible at.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, I have some edibles that I feel like you might as well take now, because how fun would that be to be high in the bonus app?
Take now? Like, like while we're recording?
Yeah, take them.
Where? They're in here. Is that what these are?
Yeah. So there's a few different options for you that I'm going to present to you. This is Desert Gold, which fits with the music festival vibe. But these are like these are 2.5 milligrams, which that's not going to get you where I want you to be.
What do you mean where you want me to be?
I want you to be like soaring, flying, not a star in heaven that you can't reach. So maybe take 2 of these 5s.
I'm not going to take 10 milligrams of weed while we're recording an episode of our podcast.
It won't hit you until the bonus episode.
Okay, I'll take one of these.
Yeah. And one of these, because these are only like a little bit.
Are you gonna do any?
No, I'll take a half of one. Okay, we'll take one of those as well.
We'll see how I feel about.
No, just take one. You'll be fine.
I'm not a big weed guy.
Yeah, but that's like very light.
Why did I just listen to you and didn't even blink an eye?
Just take that one. I'll take this one with you.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
I don't know how this ended up going from silent disco to me. Are you just taking a little nibble of that little edible that you have?
A little nibble. Okay, well,
I'm going to be a freak in about 10 minutes.
Take that one. I'll open it for you.
This is like a condom.
I can open it for you.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Perfect. Well, while you were gone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I did. It's like I immediately freak myself out after one little bite that I'm high, but I'm not.
Oh, I got to go pick up a dog in a little bit.
Do you want to tell everyone about it?
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was going to say. So I went home to see my parents last week, and my dog, who's an Australian Shepherd, named Saki. He's just a lumpy beast at this point. He's old as fuck. I respect the hell out of him. I respect the hell out of this guy, but
for everything he's done.
Yeah, he's really put in the work, but he is a lumpy beast. And I always looked at people with old lumpy dogs, and I was like, ugh, what are you doing?
Right.
And that's because my last dog was hit by a school bus.
Yes.
Full of kids.
And he never made it to the
I never had to see an old dog, and like old dogs are gross. And then you have one and you're like, damn, this old lumpy bitch.
Yeah.
Like I love him to death.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch that like part on your butt that has the lumps on it.
Well, that one would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, he is like fully cancerous. But he doesn't, I don't think he knows.
No.
He fully eats, he runs around, he acts like a puppy. And my parents made the decision to be like, well, he's happy, or he could do chemo.
Right.
Or we can cut off his leg and he
just
could do
like
chemo.
went to the vet and they were like, Cants,
McGee. Yeah. But funny story about my dog that was split in half by the school bus. It was full of kids. And it's just like a straight up dead right away. So I'm not really worried about it. That's it. That's like the funny part, actually. The kids all...
And you saw it?
My whole family did, and they didn't tell me.
You didn't see it?
No. I was already at school.
Okay.
I had to go early for soccer.
I'm glad you don't have that image.
Yeah, me too. But the bus driver got out and scooped up his body and like was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And I was like, oof, why'd you do that?
That's so tough.
Yeah, but he went out really quick and young, doing what he loved. He always used to get on the school bus in the morning and all the kids liked him, and he would go to the front of the neighborhood and then get off and run home. So that's why he was doing it. I'm trying to turn this into a joke. This is one of those things where you kind of tell someone and everyone's going to be like, ugh, guys, I'm fine.
I know.
And it's funny.
I hate those things when you're like, oh, look at this really depressing thing that happened to me, and you like expect to laugh and people are like, I'm so sorry.
I'm not pro splitting dogs in half via school bus, but it happened. You have to laugh or you'll cry.
No, I always I think my worst fear in the world would be hitting a dog with my car.
Sure.
Like I'd rather be the dog in that situation. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
anyways, this dog was a replacement dog. Didn't have to get an old dog. So then I went home, saw my parents' dog, and then this woman reached out. Well, I'm not going to give details just in case it doesn't work out.
Right.
But anyways, there's a dog waiting for me right now. His name's Sunny.
He's so sweet. He's so gorgeous.
You can change his name. He doesn't give a shit. But right now it's Sunny.
Yeah. That's honestly as far as adopting a dog and their names, that's a good one.
Well, yeah, the other one that I got reached out to, his name was Jimothy.
Yeah.
And I talk way too much shit about other people's dog names to have a dog named Jimothy. So
my mom's dog Tucker, his name is now, but his name when we adopted him was Groot. And then my other dog, Gabe, was Blackie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Cleo was Cinnamon. Just like
that's just
end of the day. Yeah. But like we kept the C to respect her.
Yeah,
where she came from.
I don't think I've ever called one of my pets by the name that we named them.
Right.
Originally. You end up going like
Yeah.
boop, boop, beep,
Yeah.
bop, bop.
Totally.
I brought something back from my parents' house.
Okay.
Were you gonna move on to something completely different? Because I
was just gonna tell you about my weekend.
Oh,
but
your weekend.
I'm
so sorry. Talk about mine for
it was pretty uneventful. I went to a comedy show though. I went to see Meg Stalter.
Love Meg Stalter.
Who is just like such a genius that it's like scary to be in the same room as her.
Yeah.
But it's like marketed as a stand-up show, and I guess it's kind of stand-up, but it's mostly improv, which I didn't know and is very scary to me because my biggest fear besides running over a dog would be like being called on in a crowd.
Yeah.
And being crowdsourced. So I had my mask like over my eyes the entire show. But it was Meg Stalter and friends. So she brought out
who else was?
Well, she brought out 3 people.
Okay.
And here is who they are. First girl, not actually quite sure. So we'll move on. Second boy, Benny Drama.
Yeah.
Benny Drama came out. Third boy, and this is where it got dicey for me, was Judd Apatow.
Right.
Judd, in keeping with the theme of the night, which was interacting with the crowd, crowdsourcing, he did like 1 minute of stand-up and then was like, okay, I'm over that. Does anybody want to pitch me a screenplay? And so I think like if you were to just like take a room full of people that live in LA and are at a stand-up show, 8 out of 10, like their screenplay pitches are going to be tough to sit through. That being said, the people that in that room that go ahead and volunteer to pitch their screenplays to Judd, 10 out of 10 gonna be tough to sit through. And let me just say, incredibly tough to hear people pitch their screenplay ideas.
You're like 0 for 5 for your past comedy shows you've gone to.
I was having a really tough
Comedy
time.
Jam Night?
Comedy Jam Night as well was tough. But
who was the other person that came out?
Judd.
So it was Judd?
It was Judd, Benny, and
okay.
a girl that I don't know. But I would say hearing those people who willingly put themselves on the stage, one of the toughest things I've ever...
They should be on a watch list for volunteering.
I've ever had to sit through.
Volunteering to pitch a screenplay while other people paid for a ticket.
Yeah.
That's a really...
Yeah. And the first guy that was pitching like the first... it wasn't a comedy, but he was pitching like the first ever romance. Like, I don't really know exactly what he was getting at, but it was just like a trans romance, which is great. But I think Judd like didn't know what to do with that or where to go, so he kept just saying, well, I produce bros.
Just to cover his bases.
Just to kind of cover his bases. And that was his response
he's cool with that.
To every single pitch from that one guy. And then the next girl pitched astrology film about a podcaster who was really into astrology. And at that point, I had disassociated fully.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Disassociated. But
Who would have ever thought a podcaster would be into astrology?
No, not me.
Mm-mm.
That's for darn tootin' sure.
Yeah.
But that was, and then the third guy at that point, I had gotten some air. But yeah, that was really like, I think like
I would have loved to see it. That'd be good.
The only thing I did this weekend.